when the relievers open games?
I think when you limit an offense, and so far we've done that. I mean, we've won one of the games, we've lost two, but it's tough to argue it not working simply because we've gone out there and limited offenses to low scoring. We haven't capitalized offensively on it, but hopefully we can adjust that trend tonight.
Colomé's obviously gone, so what are the options you're leaning towards for that closer role?
There's going to be a lot. I think it's going to be pretty fluid. The good answer would be maybe we'll do a starter in that. Start the bullpen, bring a starter in to close. I'll talk to Archer here after I'm done with the session. But we're going to use Alvarado. We're going to use Rowe. We're going to maybe revisit Romo. But I don't think we're in a position to sit there and name a closer right now. We've learned over many years of doing this that games are won and lost in the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning, and we want to be prepared to use who we feel is best equipped to get those out right then, and then we'll figure out the 9th when that time comes.
Gomez is back and healthy. How nice is it to have him back?
Good. I mean, the energy that he brings, professionalism, the guys are excited. I'm excited. I know Carlos didn't get off to the best start or the start that he wanted to, but veteran player, he had 2 home runs the other day in an extended game, which is always nice. You want the guys to go down there and have success. He'll come back and he's going to get going for us.
What do you expect from the Font acquisition?
You know what? He's a guy that we've liked. We've talked about for a while. I know his track record this season has maybe not been his best, but I think that's part of what makes this group, this Rays organization, special, is they can see some underlying things that you can kind of pull out of a pitcher. There's a couple, to name a few, that we've done here recently. I mean, Sergio Romo last year didn't get off to the best start in LA. We acquired him, got him comfortable. To his credit, he started pitching really well. So hopefully, find some similarities to where he can help us win some games.
Is he going to be here today?
Yes.
He's not here yet, though.
No.
Recently, Major League Baseball released findings about the actual baseball itself. They found that couldn't put a reason why, but the baseball itself has obviously been behaving differently. What's your reaction to that?
We're all playing with the same ball. I mean, so it's pretty fair. I have no idea what the findings were. I know we've done some of our own research, but every team's playing with the same ball. Pitchers are throwing, the batters are hitting, they're all playing with similar bats, so I don't think it being a big factor. If they change the ball to something else, we're playing with that one. So it's not like, football where you sit there and you pick the football you want to throw. They're all coming out of the umpire's sack that he uses to carry them all in.
But for a team that's a little more dependent on pitching and defense, maybe it affects you guys a little bit differently?
Maybe, but we also, in theory, have a ballpark that seems to keep balls from going out of the ballpark as easy as some others. So, I think you can make an argument for both sides of it.
You'd be the last person to say you're reinventing the game by using your closer as a starter. I mean, that's not you. But in Europe, what's the most unusual thing you ever saw a skipper you played for or under do?
Play me.
We set you up.
That was a layup, man. I don't know. Look, I think you got to give Joe Madden a lot of credit for some of the stuff that he did years ago with the shifts. We were talking about it yesterday. Struggling hitters going up and sticking them in the leadoff spot where they're going to get more at bats than anybody in the lineup that day. Kind of forcing the issue. That's similar to what we're doing with Stanek here today. But I think I'd have to think about that, but shifts really come into mind. And I think, Joe, the Rays, Andrew, this front office group kind of being at the forefront of that. It was unique. It got blasted, but there's 30 teams doing it now.
This is creating a little bit of a buzz, what you guys are doing. I mean, is that fine by you? I mean, it's not why you're doing it.
No, it's totally fine. Whatever anybody wants to say, I'm totally good with. We're all fine with. We think it's the right thing to do to help us win games and be cognizant of some of our young starting pitchers that started in the minor leagues and are going to get opportunities to start, but we want to do right by them and do right by our team, and we think this is a good strategy to help us stay in games. And to this point, we've done that.
Play me.
No.
Yeah.
With Stanek, are you open to past the first inning, or will it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So that's just remains to be seen. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, the game dictates a lot of the decision making. we had every intention yesterday of Romo going into the second inning. But when you got Chris Davis coming up second and third, and we've got a lefty that's hot, we're going to bring him in. The first inning obviously wasn't ideal, but I mean, like I said, it's tough to nitpick anything when you go through 7 innings of 1-run ball. I know they got the second one there off Yarbs, the home run, but our pitchers did everything they needed to do. We probably didn't do what we were capable of offensively.
So with Romo, he's obviously got strong lefty-righty splits. Not so much the case with Stanek. How much did that factor into your decision to start Stanek?
Well, I think you got to go with the personnel that you have available. You're right. Stanek, his splits are more neutral. Romo, he might not be the ideal guy if you're facing a lineup that has right, left all the way through. But the two teams that we've done it with are very heavily righty stacked. That allows us the freedom to make adjustments series to series and seeing how they're shaping their lineup on those given days.